Let's see. Nada. There is nothing.
Ihr habt immer die Wahl, geht her, nennt mich verrückt und sagt mir, ihr werdet normal. Wer ist hier normal? Und wer ist verrückt? Und ist es normal, nur weil alle es tun? Ist es normal, nur weil alle es tun? Ist es normal, nur weil alle es tun?
Right, that went really smoothly at customs. Greetings to the girls, hello to the boys. That took an hour, plus another hour until the base commander arrived. He's not in a hurry in the morning either. I got that in principle. But it's all einfach, all easy of course, English. I'm now on my way to the route I've picked out. Before that, I'll stop once more and get some more water because that's become absolutely essential by now. I'm now riding 3 kilometers on tarmac, then at least my route starts again. I hope the tarmac stops soon too. That will probably be a 2-day stage. I've mapped out a route through the Sahara of about 430 kilometers. I'd just like to split it into 2 stages. Firstly, it's already 10:30 again, and that could get very sandy, but of course I don't really know yet. Once again, a wall of this sort is blocking my direct route. There is a path there. The only catch is a steep climb. You'd have to take that at full speed. I'll give it a go, then we'll see how it goes. Let's give it a go. Intense. And another wall. But there isn't too much of it. And we've already made it. Where the ground is firmer, I ride quite leisurely, because if there happens to be deep sand for a longer stretch, fuel consumption naturally shoots up incredible. I'm getting a bit paranoid about fuel consumption again, but that's more or less the track I've mapped out. It's sandy anyway, with a bit of gravel underneath. But I hope it actually goes the way I've mapped out for a while. And now we are heading along the power line at a brisk walking pace, because the track is already quite difficult to find and see. Yes, these are definitely going to be interesting kilometers. Right. I actually need to keep more to the left. I can see that now. The minefield is just behind us. That was, I don't know, maybe 2 kilometers. I hope things go back to normal from here. What's normal anyway? Riding on pure sand. I'll make sure I keep up the momentum. A brilliant descent. This way we avoid the detour just as I mapped it out. Far in the background, the mountains are visible again. The ground might be firmer there too, but of course I don't know that yet. I'm already curious to see if I can get there. It drops off sharply back there, So I've turned off and I'm approaching it again, hoping I don't plop down at the back now. It's very soft at the top. How brilliant is that? Unfortunately brilliant. I actually wanted to go there, and with a bit of luck it might have, but I've now marked a path over it because I suddenly got stuck in the deep sand there. And now I've got to get it out. Not enough momentum again. It was just under a meter. And now, unfortunately, I've burned out the clutch. On the KLX, there's an adjustment screw halfway along the clutch cable. I've loosened it quite a bit. So hopefully, I'll get the clutch working again. Otherwise, I can wait until night time and trudge back some 40 kilometers. It's sweltering hot, and the moped is my only source of shade. If you work on the clutch whilst giving it throttle, it doesn't take kindly to it. You have to try and avoid that, but it's not always possible. I actually have a second set of clutch plates, but I can only fit them if I have either a pneumatic tool or some other heavy duty equipment. I reckon the whole business has taken at least half an hour, including pulling it out, and I hope it's cooled down enough by now for the clutch to engage again. Right, the moment of truth. I've already loosened it up quite a bit. Let's see. Nada.
Fuck.
There's absolutely nothing. Maybe something come loose? I can't say. I loosened the clutch a bit more on the adjustment screw, but if it works, I definitely ride back, of course. And if it doesn't work, I wait until dusk sets in. Before or after that, I actually just pack my kit and set off. It's not Azzurro's fault. It all started back in Wadi Namus in Algeria. I'd already worked the clutch a few times there. That's when you could feel that the pressure point has shifted. And I'm not really blaming the clutch now, but rather the rider for the fact that on the last bar, I just overdid it. If I'd stopped 3 attempts earlier, the clutch would still be there. But presumably, I might have got stuck again, and then I'd have destroyed it. And perhaps had another 3 kilometers to walk. I just can't help myself. I've taken the clutch cover off and removed the pressure plate as well. I've put them straight into a plastic bag and into my backpack. And you can see, anyway, there isn't much friction left. The nut itself hasn't come loose. Luckily, I've got a few of those sheet metal fasteners with me. I've now screwed one in here, one there, and another down there. I'm a bit worried that the centrifugal force will rip them out, of course, and then all 3 screws will end up somewhere inside the engine. But I'll keep thinking about what else I can do. Maybe it will work. I've mixed in some cold metal. I wiped it down with petrol beforehand. I hope that will hold somehow. I'll let it dry for now. Then I put it back together. Then I see how it goes. The cover is back on. I pack everything up for now. And then I see if it works. Otherwise I have to marsh anyway. Back to Surat. I'm more than happy that hopefully this will hold out until I'm back there, we'll see. I'm riding motocross style now, without clutch. Thanks, fork. I've ended up in this really soft spot and just got stuck there. It should be another 30 kilometers. I hope the clutch holds out until then. There were already people a bit further out of the town anyway, so at least I make it that far. Yes, I have to draw a line again. One says 25, the other 30. The clutch is slipping quite badly. I'm doing 40 on the speedo, hoping I can make it out there. I suppose sand is pretty much the worst possible terrain for a broken clutch or worn out friction linings. You need speed there and consequently a clutch that works. But I'm just crawling along now. The sun's still out anyway. Let's hope for the best. 17 kilometers or nearly 18 to go. 50 on the speedo, clutch slipping. Somewhere between 10 and 13 kilometers. Visually, it's quite pretty, of course. But the reason I'm seeing it isn't so pretty. And it's a gentle, steady climb, hardly noticeable, but of course it is with this clutch. Here we go again. The lovely wall. Now I've just had to decide left or right. I reckon left, as it's almost always the way. It's pitch black already, or rather, it's getting dark, let's put it this way. It's taking me at least 20 minutes to get from up there to there. I just can't get her moving anymore, and I hope I manage to get out of here at some point. Now I've at least managed to turn around and I'm already facing the right direction. It says 570 meters straight ahead. That should be roughly the way I came. A wrong turn and I reckon I've easily spent 3/4 of an hour on this. I'm getting them moving. You can't see it now. I'm just making a track there. There's a bit of gravel up ahead or stones. I can get going and then when it turns back into deep sand it's over. You probably can't see it, but I'm riding again now. I can't see much of anything. I just hope I don't get stuck in the deep sand again. I couldn't get out of it this time. It's there, you won't really be able to see it. A ramp with maybe a 3-meter height difference. Really deep sand. I've actually already got my gear off. Now I'm just going to fetch my camping stuff. Maybe I'll make myself something to eat. I'm pretty knackered. And to be honest, I'd rather camp than rent a room again. Right, that's it for today. Greetings to the girls, hello to the boys.